Did you know that the difference between wealth and poverty isn't about how much you earn, but what you do with your time every single day? Millionaires have a secret. They passionately hate 4 habits that average people deeply love. And today, I'm going to reveal them to you. This knowledge doesn't just come from studies on modern millionaires, but also from Jewish culture, which for centuries has cultivated an abundance mindset that has allowed them to prosper even in the most difficult circumstances. The Talmud teaches, "Who is rich? One who is satisfied with his lot." But there's much more to it than that. In the next 15 minutes, you'll discover exactly which habits are sabotaging your financial growth without you even realizing it. And most importantly, what to do about it. Because knowing the problem is the first step, but only action transforms lives. So stay until the end, because the 4th habit is the most dangerous, and almost nobody talks about it. The first habit that the rich hate and the poor love is consuming content instead of creating value. The average person spends 3 to 4 hours daily consuming social media, Netflix, news, gossip. The millionaire, on the other hand, invests that time creating businesses, content, relationships, systems. In Jewish culture, there's a concept called tikkun olam, repairing the world. You can't repair anything if you only consume. You must create, contribute, build. Warren Buffett reads 500 pages a day, but he doesn't consume for entertainment. He consumes to create better investment decisions. That's the key difference. Jewish sages teach, "He who does not increase, decreases." If you're not creating value, you're losing ground. Immediate action. Today, before opening social media, dedicate 30 minutes to creating something: a post, a business plan, a course, a valuable conversation. Creation attracts wealth, consumption repels it. But consuming content is just the beginning. The second habit is even more destructive because it steals something you'll never get back. The second habit that the rich passionately hate and the poor accept as normal is trading your time for money without building assets. The employee mindset says, "I need a secure salary." The millionaire mindset says, "I need systems that work for me." Working 8 hours for a fixed salary is the model that keeps you in the rat race. For every hour you work, you get X dollars. If you get sick, no income. If you travel, no income. If you sleep, no income. The rich build assets, businesses, real estate, investments, digital content. Their money works while they sleep. In Judaism, Shabbat is sacred, a day without work. But the rich can do this because they created systems. The poor can't, because their only asset is their time. The Talmud says, "He who depends on his own table will never be satisfied." This means don't depend only on your job. Create multiple sources. Key question: what can you create once that will pay you multiple times? An online course, a book, software, a business with employees, dividend investments. Immediate action. Identify a skill you have and ask yourself, how can I package this into an asset that sells while I sleep? Now, the third habit is psychological, and it's what separates dreamers from achievers. The third habit that the rich detest and the poor love is waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect idea, the perfect conditions. The poor say, "When I have more money, I'll start. When I know more, I'll do it. When conditions improve, I'll invest." The rich say, "I start now with what I have and adjust along the way." Jeff Bezos started Amazon in a garage. Steve Jobs started Apple with $1,300. They didn't wait for perfect conditions. They acted with what was available. In Jewish culture, there's a proverb. Do not say, "When I have free time, I will study," because perhaps you will never have free time. Imperfect action today is worth more than perfection tomorrow. Jews have a concept called chutzpah, sacred audacity. It's the boldness to act, even when you're not 100% prepared. Analysis paralyzes. Action educates. Every millionaire I know made mistakes, but they all acted fast. Immediate action. That business idea you've had for months, that project you postponed, that course you didn't launch, start today with the 20% you have ready. You don't need 100%. The market will teach you the rest. These three habits are devastating, but the fourth is the most dangerous because it affects your very identity. The fourth habit that the rich hate with all their being, and the poor love without realizing it, is surrounding yourself with conformist people who reinforce your mediocrity. Show me your 5 closest friends, and I'll show you your financial future. If your friends only talk about sports, TV shows, and gossip, you'll never talk about investments, business, and growth. The rich are selective with their circle. They seek mentors, masterminds, high-level communities. The poor seek acceptance from anyone. There's a Jewish saying, "Make for yourself a teacher, acquire for yourself a companion." It's no coincidence that Jews represent 0.2% of the world's population, but 20% of Nobel Prize winners. Their culture values collective study, intellectual debate, shared growth. The concept of havrusa in Judaism is studying in pairs, with someone who challenges you, not someone who applauds you. You need people who raise your standards, not lower them. The uncomfortable truth: if you want different results, you need different conversations. And that means distancing yourself from some people. Immediate action. Identify the 3 people you spend the most time with. Ask yourself, do they bring me closer or further from my goals? Find one mentor or community that is where you want to be. Invest in that relationship, even if it's uncomfortable at first. Let's recap the 4 habits you must eliminate today. Consuming instead of creating value. Trading time without building assets. Waiting for the perfect moment instead of acting. Surrounding yourself with conformity instead of excellence. Jewish culture survived thousands of years of persecution because it valued education, action, and community. Modern millionaires apply the same principles. The question isn't whether you know this. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Your assignment for the next 24 hours. Create something of value. Minimum 30 minutes. Identify one asset you can build. Take one imperfect action on that pending project. Contact one person who is where you want to be. The rich build, the poor wait. Which side will you be on? If this video stirred something in you, share it. Someone in your circle needs to hear this. And remember, information without action is just entertainment.